everybody, my name's Amanda from scrimpingmummy.co.uk, and today I'm going to show you how to make just a little gift. Either a gift for a crafty friend, or maybe as a sample if you're a demonstrator, or just for fun. If you're a crafty, you might be into swaps, or anything, or a nice birthday present for a friend. And this is a little ribbon holder. This is my sample, so the one that I'm going to make now is going to be slightly different. I'm not going to put as many spools in because it was a bit bulky. So I have done it with a magnetic closure, and you open it like so, and inside we have some spools, little spools with little bits of ribbon on, or if you like lace, you could put lace on, whatever. It's all attached, and you can just have a look through there like so, and then it all closes and it's got a pretty sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to show you what to do. All of the measurements will be over on my blog at scrimpingmummy.co.uk. So we're starting off with a A4 sheet of paper, so it's the full length of an A4, so it's just over 11.5 inches, so it's the full length, and I've cut it to, what have I cut it to? Where am I? 3.5 inches. So it's 3.5 inches by the full length of a UK A4. And I'm going to score it first of all at 3.5. Oop, that's gone offline a bit there. 3.5, 4.5, 4 3/4, 9 1/4. And 9.5. Okay, just be careful with those where they're only 1/4 of an inch in between. That's just to, I've just made a bit of a wrong mark there. I'm just going to push it back out on the other side, it'll be fine. So just be careful when you're doing your 1/4 inch measurements, because they are important to give you a little bit of width in your book to allow for the depth of the ribbon, basically. Okay, so that's all of that done. So I can move my tool out of the way. And we're going to layer it with DSP. So you're going to need 3 pieces. You're going to need one at, just check my measurements, 3 1/4 by 2, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then this one is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to quickly put those on before we do anything else. I did want to round the corners. I'll do it after. So, I'm quickly, oops, upside down, Amanda. Quickly layer these up. Like so. I'm using snail. When I did, just to be quick, when I did my sample, I actually used Tombow, and then you've just got that little bit more wiggle time to get your DSP nice and straight. Okay, so ooh, it's absolutely throwing it down here in Yorkshire. I don't know where the sun's gone, I don't know who broke it, but they want to, go and get it fixed and bring it back. I don't like wet weather. I do have a bit of a ongoing problem with my bones, with my arms, and the damp weather just, it doesn't help. Okay. I go quiet when I'm concentrating. When I'm concentrating and when I'm asleep, then I'm quiet. Okay, now we can fold and burnish all of those. Where's my little bone folder? Here we go. Oops. But what I want to do first of all is I'm just going to round the corners. It just makes it look neater. And I'm using my envelope punch board to round those corners. This is one of my favoritist tools in the world. That hasn't rounded terribly nicely. Do it again. favouriteest tools in the entire world. I absolutely love it. I'm just going to put it to one side because we're going to use it again in a minute. And I'm just going to fold and burnish all of those score lines. Really good squeeze. I've used the coloured cardstock because I don't have any heavyweight Whisper White. Whatever you do, don't make this out of normal Whisper White cardstock. Only use coloured cardstock or the thicker Whisper White, because normal Whisper White cardstock feels like it's thinner. And the reason being that it's gone through an extra process to make it even smoother for stamping. So that's, you know, why it feels like it's lighter. So don't make this out of normal Whisper White, because it needs to be a bit sturdy. Okay, so this is our structure, and this is going to be our cover. I'm just going to give that an extra burnish. Now what I want to do is I need to put some holes in here, because I'm going to string it all together with ribbon. So this section here is 1 inch wide. So I'm just going to find the 1/2 inch. I'm going to use good old-fashioned ruler and pencil, because I do want these lines to be, these holes to be central. So I'll just do one there and I'll do one there. And I'm going to very gently do a line so that I know exactly where the centre of that is. Okay. Oops. And then I'm using my handheld hole punch. Now it will only go so far, and if you've got a crocodile or anything like that that's wider, then, you know, adjust your measurements to suit yourself. But I'm going in as deep as my hole punch will allow, and that is basically the distance that I'm going, but I'm staying on the centre line. So I'll go as far as my punch will allow me, on the centre line, punch a hole. And then I'm going to go around the other side and do the same. And I'm going to use these holes now as the template for the rest of my holes. Okay? So if I measure it, it's roughly 1 inch in from the bottom. Okay, I've just squashed my cardstock a bit there with my hole punch. So now I'm going to gently hold my holder all together like so, and this top lip will line up against that, and that's where I'm going to then go back in and punch all the way through, and then that will then punch through to the back. I've marked my cardstock there a bit. I've just gone a little bit overboard with that. Just be a bit more gentle. Look, I've marked my cardstock. I am naughty. Just be a little bit gentler. My handheld hole punch is a bit archaic. Okay. Let me just give it a rub with my bone folder. It's only creased it. So just be extra careful with yours. Maybe don't go all the way in. Right, so now I can rub that little mark off. What I've done there is I've marked that, and I'll tell you what I've done so that you can not do it. I've done that because I've gone all the way and I've literally pushed my cardstock right up against there. Perhaps it'd be better if I just left, you know, a smidge. So it didn't mark my cardstock. Right, I'm going to move that to one side. So now I've got holes in the front and in the back. So now I'm going to make my spools. I've got 1, 2, and I have done these out of Whisper White. And I'm using the envelope punch board, and these measure 3 inches by 4 7/16. Okay, that is just a smidge less than 4 1/2. So on one side we're going to punch at the 1 1/2 mark. So we'll go up to 1 1/2, punch, turn it over, 1 1/2, punch. Okay. Then at the other end, we're going to go to the 1 mark. So this is going to be smaller. So 1, turn, and 1. Okay? So you've got that shape. So you've got a smaller and a larger at the bottom. And we're going to do the same with this one. So I'm going up to the 1.5 mark. Punch, turn, 1.5, turn, and then we're going to 1. Okay, so 1 and punch, and 1 and punch. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my scoreboard back. Just get rid of those. Make sure you can see. And I'm going to score these where you've got the larger end. I'm going to get the larger end and I'm going to score it at 1. Okay. We're only scoring the larger end. So again, you've got a larger end and a smaller end. Put the larger end in and score at 1. Okay. Move that out of the way. Then you want to come in with your paper snips. We want to cut this section away. You could do it on your trimmer. I'm just going to do it by hand, and this gives you your spool shape. There's lots and lots of things you can do on the envelope punch board, apart from just making envelopes. Lots. It's a really fun tool. Boxes, envelopes, spools, all sorts of things, file cards, all sorts. Right, I'm just going to leave that there. So then I'm just going to score these, burnish them. If you wanted it to be a bit more sturdy, you could glue 2 together, or again use coloured cardstock. I'm just using the white so that you can see better, to be honest. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to use, it's here. I'm just using a small element of this bike ride stamp because I've been playing with it today. I'm in shop. I've been playing with it today and I really, really like these little tiny elements, and I just think you can use it in lots of things. And I've got this little floral one here. I think it's lovely. So I've got that, and I'm using Sweet Sugar Plum. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Sweet Sugar Plum. Okay. So I'm just going to ink that up. And I'm just going to stamp that just to break up the white ever so slightly on that spool. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. Just gives a little bit of a pretty decoration, like that. Just make sure they're dry because I'm now going to do my holes. So I'm going to hold these 2 together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to I just need to mark where I want my holes on these. So I'm just lining them up. I want them together nice and straight. I'm just going to line it up like so. And then I'll just carefully flip it and just make a little dot. Again, you know, I might be going around houses doing this measuring like this. You might find an easier way of doing it. So I'm using my handheld punch again, and I'm going to line it up over that dot and line it up over that dot, and then my dots will match. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some ribbon on my spools. We'll have a bit of pink, and I'm holding them on with these because they weren't using up. They are retired, the little tiny paper clips. You could use washi tape, you could use, if you've got some little stick pins, you could use those, anything you want. So I'm just going to measure a length that I want to part with, that I want to share. So I'll cut it about there. I'm only kidding. About there. And I might, you know, put this in a little package, a little gift to somebody. If I'm sending them a card, I might send them some ribbon. I might send it to one of my team members. Who knows? I don't know why I've cut 2, I only need 1. And then I'll cut some of this as well. I might send it to a customer as a thank you gift. I might send it to a crafty friend that likes ribbon. So I'm just going to wrap it around like so. Obviously, you know, I'm like speed crafting here for the video. Take a lot more time over it yourselves. And it will turn out lovely. I'm just giving you I'm always giving you just the bare basics of an idea so that you can take it and you can, you know, adapt it yourself using Stampin' Up products. You're going to get awesome results every time. You know, and sometimes I'm not really very good at coming up with ideas for cards. I get, you know, like crafter's block, and we say, oh, I've lost my mojo, and I don't lose my mojo, but I really struggle with cards. So sometimes I just think I'll have a bit of a play and I'll make something that's not a card. I've bent that one now. They're a bit fiddly, these. That's probably why I've still got them left. I don't want that. I want a white one. It's probably why I haven't used them, so they are a tad fiddler, especially when you've got a bit of nails. There we go. So they're just held on with them little paper clips, because that's just what I've got. Okay, I'm a big believer in just using what you've got. But washi tape would be fine, or if you've got some decorative little pins, put them in. So now I can start and string it together. Okay, so I'll use this ribbon here that I cut too much of, and all you do is feed it through the back. I think I need to get my nails cut. I think they're starting to get in the way. Oh, bum. Come on. There we go. Yeah. There we go. I'll have the cream one at the back. Like so. Like that. I'll have the little pink one at the front. This is, of course, powder pink ribbon and powder pink cardstock. And the Fresh Florals DSP is what I've used on the front. All brand new, lovely stock. Love it. I'm expecting a big delivery from Mr. Brown today, fingers crossed, so that I can get lots of demonstrating of lots of new products done. I'm making this look a lot more fiddly than it is, but you know, I'm good at that. I'm good at making things look harder than they are. It's like a special talent I've got. So hold them all in nicely. So these measurements will fit 2 spools with ribbon in nicely. If you want any more than that, I would suggest you up the width of this. I've done it to 1/4 inch. If you want more than 2 spools, up the width of that. That's all you need to do. And then the width of the top one as well. Whatever you do to that one, you'll have to do to that one. Okay. I'm just going to tie it in. Rather than trying to do a bow, I'm just going to do it in a double knot. Like that. And then just cut those to a slant. Because I get OCD when it comes to bows, and I'll sit here for an hour fiddling with it. Right, so that's the holder done. So now I'm going to show you how I put my magnets on. Ugh, I've got them over here. They're really strong, these magnets. So what I did, I just get the first one, put those there so they don't fly off. I did use a glue dot. Here we go. So glue dot on the back of that, and then I'm just roughly looking for the halfway mark. I'm not too worried, about there. Okay. Then I've got a 1/2 inch circle punch, or you can do larger. It's just to cover the magnet, just so that it, I mean, it doesn't matter, you could not cover the magnet if you want. Another glue dot. Put that over the magnet, it just covers it. Okay, then you put your other magnet on. To say they're only little, these, honestly. Put that on the top of that one. Okay, glue dot. I just get these off eBay before everybody starts leaving a comment where they got my glue dots from. There's a company on eBay called Spider Magnets in the UK. Just look for disc magnets, you know, and get a small size. Right, so that glue dot's on there now. So now I'm going to carefully fold my book and line it up and then press, and that other magnet is magically transferred to there. I'm going to cover that with a disc of cardstock, just so it looks a little bit prettier. If you want to be really clever and really good at measuring, you could lay it underneath your cardstock, DSP, and then it'd be even tidier. So there we go. So that's that stage. Now I'm going to do my sentiment. I'm just a little bit disappointed that I've crushed the cardstock there. Oh dear me. Never mind. So I've got some Whisper White here. And I'm using the Label Me Pretty, which is this, and the coordinating punch. Absolutely love it. I'm in shot. I've no idea if any of this is in shot. I haven't even checked. Oh gosh, I hope so. Let me zoom out a little bit. And I'm actually using Sweet Sugar Plum. Just put that there. Like so. There we go. And I'm going to put the sentiment in the centre, which is this thank you. But I'm not very good at getting it, you know, if I stamped on there I'd probably get it wonky, so I'm going to stamp it and punch it separately. And then I'm not worried about it not being straight. So, I punch that out with my Label Me Pretty punch. And I just love how it gives you that lovely, crisp, even increment all the way around. And then for this sentiment, it's 1 1/4 inch circle punch. Punch. Then I'm going to, maybe it might be better to put on dimensionals, but I've forgotten them. They're at the other side of the room. So would have been snail. Stick that on there like so. Okay. And I'm gonna, you could have it that way. Or I've had mine that way, so I'm just going to put some snail along the top edge there, like so, and then just find the halfway mark and pop it on like so. And there you go, you've got a main shot. Like this waving about. So there you go, there's my little ribbon holder with a little, I just like magnets. I just could listen, you know, the little click it makes. And then you can open that and you've got your little spools inside there. As I say, my measurements are for 2 for the nice width there, so that it holds together nice. Like if you want to put more than 2 in, just adjust this measurement here and this measurement here. And like I've made the little mistake there, but I don't edit my videos. If I make a mistake, I'll leave it in and then we can all learn from it. I've put my punch in a little bit too far and I've marked my cardstock, so don't do that, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. I hope you enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's really, really pretty. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.